I watched the basically Unfiltered podcast where they did Enneagrams. We talked about this several years ago here on my channel, but Enneagrams and then the Myers-Briggs test.
I told him
What?
that actually Oscar Chesson had not described any of the Enneatypes either. Actually, in the
What?
7 months we spent with him.
They're all racist, biased, ableist. They're not real, guys. They're bullshit. You need to stop taking these personality tests. You need to stop doing all that because they're bullshit, okay? Remember, this is the creator of the Enneagram, guys. One of the origin creators.
So I was more interested in...
famous.
So at the conference I told them I had made up this tale that all this came from millennia ago.
What?
Yeah. So that came from my own observations, but mostly from automatic writing.
What?
Automatic writing?
Yeah.
These personality exams, you know how like you sat there and you felt bad? They're designed to do that. And those things are not good to be taking when you have depression and mental health problems without your therapist. Alicia and Remy, they had to pay to take these exams online. There's an industry that makes money off of you guys taking these exams and them telling you there's something wrong with you. That's why you need to listen to your doctor, your psychologist, your therapist, your psychiatrist. Those people, because they know you and the nuances around you. This book doesn't know you. This Enneagram test does not personally know you. It doesn't know Alicia Marie. It does not know Remy Cruz or Heath or Zane, okay? It doesn't know you guys personally. But a therapist who's worked with you over a few sessions would. So you gotta understand what you're looking at. Okay, translation. The Enneagrams, the personality types, how he assigned them all to numbers, he made it up.
All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is Vlogmas, bitches. Please stand by. Yes, I'm still editing. Welcome to today. Hi. Not editing that out, we all cough. Well, hopefully my blue wig will help my foil buds tonight win. One of their colors is the ice blue, so decided to sit over here. So you got to see the blanket and some colors and not just me sitting there in a bunch of junk. Oh wait, hold on. Let me push over Patrick's. Well, it's not junk. That's actually a really cool hat he has. It's a friend got him for his birthday. The World Series Dodger hat. Go Doyers! We say Doyers, but Dodgers. We're a Dodger household. Yes. So, welcome to today. So the Orfish were right. There was that earthquake in NorCal. I don't remember if I told you guys about that, but they had been washing up on the shore and it was like a omen, you know, that like a tsunami's coming, and well, here it is. Had an earthquake, tsunami. I mean, they get pushed up into those water columns when the tectonic plates shift around, and that's what causes earthquakes, so that kind of makes sense. And I mean, it's very interesting that they were coming up like in September, so that's like a couple months that we were seeing 3 of them. And they were seeing them down in San Diego and in Orange County, and the earthquake was up in NorCal. So very interesting how that all works, right? Of course, I was listening to GNX earlier. Reincarnated. Oh, basically unfiltered. Oh, exposing each other's darkest traits. Are you really? Are you really? Because a lot of times what people say their dark trait is actually not their dark trait. It's a dark trait that is socially acceptable. What are you doing? Like this. This is a dark trait that is socially acceptable. See, him crawling all around as a cat. Because he's a cat and he's cute, it's a dark trait that is very acceptable. Because he's a cute cat. You see how that works? Just kidding. Yeah. Usually there's something socially acceptable. Like, I'm a messy person. Or, my house is cluttered. But it's not like dirty cluttered, right? It's like my house, right? But it's not like dirty, right? You just have a lot of crap and I need to get organized. You know what I mean? Or like being a little bit late to things, you know, like things like that. But no one's gonna say something like, I hate puppies or kitties, right? That's a dark trait that's not acceptable, to hate cute, fluffy animals, right? But it would be acceptable for me to say, I don't like sunny angels, right? That's a dark trait that's acceptable because let's be real, some of us find them creepy as fuck, right? And a ripoff of troll dolls. They're a ripoff. Troll dolls have been around since, what, the 60s? They're a ripoff. Just like I can't believe they're coming out with another Harry Potter, with the Harry Potter series. I can't believe that. Patrick told me that and I'm like, that greedy woman. Like, it wasn't enough to make billions of dollars off of the first, you know, like, movie franchise, but the greedy woman has to redo it again and ruin it so she can make more money, and for what? You ripped that off. I know you ripped that off. It's Harry Potter is Focanelli's story of the alchemist. Focanelli was a teacher in that story. In his story, there's like a secret alchemy castle where people go in Europe to learn alchemy, and one of the tests was he asked you this question and it had to relate to like the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? Who's out there? Because that is certainly not the meaning of life. My cat does not know what the meaning of life is, okay? He's got to reincarnate a few more lives before he can get that, okay? You're not there yet, Noe, alright? You're still learning. That's what I tell him. Anyways, so yeah, where was I before my cat? The meaning of life. He would ask you what the meaning of life is, and he's sitting there eating an apple. And one of the when you get down to like the sacred, or they call it sacred geometry, but geometry of life, like in atoms and things like that. You know how the inside of an apple makes a star? Well, like that's the star of life. The symbol of it, and it's supposed to be a pattern we see in nature, and they call it the star of life. It's actually also too, the star of life is what they call the symbol for emergency medicine. If you're ever in like a elevator or where there's like emergency shit, you'll see that like it looks like an X, but then it's got two other things in it, and it's got the little medical symbol in it. It's called the star of life, and each point means something. I used to know what they were, but I don't remember. But yeah, the star of life. And so like that's the test, like to see if you like can graduate this like secret alchemy school, is to figure out, and you're supposed to point at the apple, and he's sitting there eating it in front of you. I heard noises and I just didn't know if my cat was getting into something because he's bored. That's what they do. They start getting into shit when they get bored. Anyways. What are you doing over there, Noe? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, it's a ripoff. And then if you ever read Howl's Moving Castle, there are spells in there that they use in Harry Potter. Like, there's names of certain things, and they're the same names in Harry Potter. I'm not making this shit up. So, oh, and in Focanelli's story, they don't take a train, they take a car through these winding mountains. And it doesn't fly, it's just a regular car. I know we've been talking a lot about alchemy, the hero's journey, but I think that's good. I think that's good because, you know, right now in society, we're seeing that a lot, you know, how he said with Wicked, Kendrick Lamar, Alicia starting her hero's journey, you know, looking back and seeing where I'm at on mine, feeling good about the things I've learned. You've learned nothing, Noe. He's just bored. I'm losing my mind today. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I better get to this editing. The work continues because I didn't go to hockey. Yeah. I didn't make it. I lost the war. Apparently my focus is losing it too. Oh, but we got the fireplace. It's a vibe. So yeah, I'm not feeling good. I think it's because I'm going to be starting my period. I just feel so tired. So we're just hanging out, me and Frank, right here. Enjoying the fireplace. Isn't that nice? It's so aesthetic. Look at that. This is, I'll link this if I remember, but it's a channel. This is Frank's, one of Frank's favorite. The guy goes and does, like, films real campfires and stuff. Like his little camp setup and stuff in nature. It's really cute, so. Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever. I had a sandwich for dinner. I didn't vlog it because it was just a fucking sandwich. Like, let's get over it. Like, yeah. Let's see, what's going on in the YouTubes? Academics Live. I think I'm still banned for saying, Drake's dong is not that long in the chat. I see these chats, like, going on about Drake, and I'll, like, be like, hey guys, what's going on over here? Oh, you guys are all Drake fans? I got some knowledge to drop on you. It's just, sometimes the high of the day is capping on Drake, and that's okay. Focus on the highs, not the lows, right? You know, things might be bad, but they could always be worse. You could be a low-cal like Drake. Or you can be an even more slow-cal like Academic. Let's see. Jordy's live. Amber. I watched the Basically Unfiltered podcast where they did ideograms. We talked about this several years ago here on my channel, but ideograms and then the Myers-Briggs test, they're all racist, biased, ableist. They're not real, guys. They're bullshit. You need to stop taking these personality tests. You need to stop doing all that because they're bullshit, okay? Myers-Briggs, there's a documentary, and if I remember, I'll find it, but there's a documentary on Myers-Briggs where people go into, like, look into the lady. Turns out before she did all this research on personality, all these tests, which she was, like, one of the ones that created, like, all these tests, you know? Like, that's where we get this Enneagram stuff is, right? She wrote this book about, like, a family who found out that they were biracial and, like, freaked. Like, because it was a racist book. Like, so these tests, these, like, personality, like the Enneagram, you know, INFJs, Myers-Briggs, all that crap, bullshit. It's all bullshit. They're all racist, biased. They're everything. They're homophobic, they're animal phobic, they're water phobic, knowledge phobic, closed-minded. You're never gonna learn shit from them, guys, okay? Like I said. Let me see if I can find this. Let's find this, because that's gonna bother me, and I might watch that now. Like, I've just been listening to GNX on repeat. There was this lady who had a live stream earlier where she was just listening to GNX, and she's like, I can't stop listening to this, and, like, every song would come on, she's like, it's just so good, and I'm like, It's just so good. You're right. You're so right. And I'm like, I wish I could like this stream more than once. This is awesome. And she's like, the lady was like older than me, like, and she's just like jamming out to GNX on her stream with all these other ladies. It was fun. It's fun. GNX is fun for the whole family, guys. Like, I don't know what Drake's, you know, like, come on, Drake. Like, Kendrick made a song for Adonis when he turns 18. He did that for your son, okay? Like, he legitimized your daughter, Drake, which I'm still looking into Frozen Moments LLC. There's something funny there, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. Just like there was something with Google and Susan Wojcicki, and then I found out she was sick, and it just didn't seem worth it anymore. But there's something there. There was something there, you know. Data sets and all that crap, right? Tortoises in the desert. Look into it. Okay, so what are we gonna... Myers-briggs personality test. Racist. Persona, the dark truth behind personality tests. Now, where is this on? Refinery 29 has an article. Guardian. They became dangerous tools. The dark side of personality exams. Exactly. Alicia, these personality exams, you know how like you sat there and you felt bad? They're designed to do that. And those things are not good to be taking when you have depression and mental health problems without your therapist. Unless your therapist who knows your mental health real well is like, because I get these like things to check in on me to make sure that I'm not going to harm myself, you know, type deal, type moment, you know, when I talk to my therapist or I go into my doctors. They do this every time because I have a lot of mental health problems and PTSD, and so they're always checking in on me. That's different than like going and finding this and then you get results that you might not understand what you are looking at. You know what I mean? So, Persona. HBO has it. Is there any of this? Persona. I will find the trailer and I will link it below. But yeah, I don't want to put down, because I feel like Alicia's smart, Remy's smart, Heath is smart. Yeah, those three are smart. So like, but they're not trained in the area personality exams. Like, I'm not trained in that at all. But I know enough to know that they're not right. And you need to be taking very specific ones, you know. Because if not, you're going to end up with a racist one. Persona. Personality test. There we go. Persona, yeah, it's an HBO Max. Persona, the dark truth behind personality exams. Yes. Oh, and here's some more people. Psychologist reacts. Persona, the dark truth. Shameful. Yeah, some of them don't like it. Other people do. But I will link it. If you have HBO Max, go watch it. It's pretty good. It really shows you the... Look, here's Vox doing on how these personality exams are totally fucking meaningless, because you also got to remember who wrote these... Who wrote the questions? Who wrote them? Because it's kind of like how I've been talking about data sets and AI, and that a lot of them are curated by white men, you know, that live in Simi Valley, you know, and we know that the one that Mechanical Turks did for ImageNet is rooted in racism. A lot of those people were just, you know, people chilling in their homes in the South trying to make a buck or two with their cats, and they saw a picture of Oprah and they're like, I'm gonna label this as a gorilla, because they were racist idiots in the South, you know, working on the computer and shit in 2004. So raw. So you gotta kind of like scrutinize, well, who wrote this test? Who wrote this personality exam? Who wrote it? Well, Myers-Briggs. We go look back. The bitch was racist. She wrote a book before that. She actually, from what I remember, actually had like no training. And they tried to bury the fact that this woman was who made this exam, that there is also too these personality exams, because I heard Heath and Alicia and Remy, they had to pay to take these exams online. There's an industry that makes money off of you guys taking these exams and them telling you there's something wrong with you. Started playing in my headphones. But they make a lot of money off of telling you there's something wrong with you, buy my book. That's why you need to listen to your doctor, your psychologist, your therapist, your psychiatrist. Those people, because they know you and the nuances around you. This book doesn't know you. This fucking Enneagram test does not personally know you. It doesn't know Alicia Marie. It does not know Remy Cruz or Heath or Zane, okay? It doesn't know you guys personally. But a therapist who's worked with you over a few sessions would. So you got to understand what you're looking at. You got to be like, who wrote this test? These questions, who reviewed these questions and said, okay, this question is neutral enough that we could give it to a large population of people and have it not exclude people based off of their disabilities, their race, their gender, their sexual orientation. All of those things you need to take into effect, into account, because they affect everything in this questionnaire. It was something I learned when Patrick was going through school and doing his doctoral degree, whatever, you know. I don't really cares about those things. It's just a fancy degree and whatnot. But anyways, he had to have everything step by step scrutinized by a series of like professors who had also criterias to make sure that his information was vetted, that there wasn't any biases in it, or anthropomorphisms were a big one. Anthropomorphisms, like, you know how I have a problem hearing about people like assign, like, say, oh, she's thick and it's a fucking milkshake, right? I know that's a general one, you know, or like, ooh, she's cold and it's a fucking Coke. It doesn't have a gender. It's not an animate object. That's an anthropomorphism. Is when you assign animal traits or human traits to a non-animate object. And that was something like we've learned a lot about. Like AI. We've done that with AI. Where they call it like neuro, and a lot of the words and verbiage in AI are actually words used to describe the human brain. And that was a way to sell you that as technology. Oh, my mom's talking to Jimmy. Oh, she's showing him ice cream. Frank will actually eat the ice cream. When I used to do pet adoptions, one of the ladies, and we'd go over and help her with all the cats she was fostering, she had one cat that would eat ice cream, but when it would lick the ice cream off the spoon, it'd go, mmm, mmm. Like, he would make these, like he's making the mmm noise. It was so funny. And this cat had an attitude. He was not nice. He was kind of grumpy and mean, but he loved ice cream. And so, like, we go over there and we'd be like, can we give him some ice cream? And she'd be like, okay. And he'd be like, mmm. Cats are fun. So, yeah. Where are these questions coming from? Who gave you the questions? Scrutinize the evidence. Don't be afraid to question where the information is coming from or authority. Don't be afraid to question authority. Like on the hero's journey, that's part of it. You know, part of the, you know, falling and hitting rock bottom and going through the hero's journey is that you have like a breakthrough. You know how people say, I became woke, or I woke up, or I became awake to the world? Well, that's something you experience on the hero's journey. And you begin to start thinking about having... She's talking to the cats. Noe is like our guard kitty, so at night he'll go around to all the different windows and check them out. Like he's a guard kitty. It's funny, it's cute. So we'll go like, do you have to work tonight, Noe? And then that's why he's like all tired next day, like... I'll try to show you if I remember tomorrow, like Noe all tired, but... Yeah, part of the hero's journey is you start questioning the world around you, and that's something we, as we grow up and we become adults, young adults, you know, we start learning to, you know, we question our parents, or we question the social norms around us, or, you know, like how I've cut off family members, or because they weren't good for me. Well, before, I was told that, like, you needed to always be there for your family, and that's blood and all that. And as I got older, I started to question that because it wasn't healthy for me. See what I'm saying? And so, like, part of your journey on the hero's journey is learning to question things around you. Even if it's going to get you in trouble and villainize you and have people going, what? Because usually when we question things, it's against the social norm. If you see what I'm saying. So, don't let these Enneagram personality tests, when they start telling you, these are your negative traits, they're bullshit. It's all bullshit, okay? Get a therapist. They're not talking to you. It's not talking specifically to you. It's something that's been designed, you know, so that we can put down minority groups and we can make a lot of money off of the self-help genre, which that's an industry, guys. Self-help is an industry. You know, all these gurus and shit, like, God, Mel Robbins is one I'm not very fond of for some reason. I know a lot of people like her. There's something about her that rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why, but it does. I haven't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just a personality clash, because that happens, you know? That's the other thing you'll learn as you get older is, like, you won't be like, oh, this person's annoying. You'll be like, oh, well, this person's just... It's a personality clash. Like, there's some YouTubers on here where I'm like, I can't watch them. Their content's too hokey for me. It's not that there's something wrong with them or something. It's just... It's a personality clash, you know? Or... You probably hear me say this a lot, but, like, people who get it. Usually people who've been through trauma and stuff, I usually say people who get it. Like, I feel like that about Kendrick Lamar. Like, I feel like he gets it. Like, where Drake doesn't. You know, like, there's some people where they've been so privileged. They don't get it. And I don't know what it is. And maybe it's the hero's journey and, like, the whole self-improvement and, you know, that kind of life journey type bullshit, but I don't know. If you know what I mean, let me know in the comments. Cheers to getting it, guys. Did you get it?
Something that comes from Babylonian origins through Oscar Chit.
What?
Well, yeah, because they trust that more. They're being scholars.
Well, yeah.
It makes sense. Actually, when I chose to do that intentionally, and I was remembering a recommendation of Oscar Wilde.
Remember, this is the creator of the Enneagram, guys. One of the origin creators.
So I was more interested
become famous.
So at the conference, I told them I had made up this tale that all this came from millennia ago.
What?
And that this information
What?
comes from the Sufis.
Yes.
I told him
What?
that actually Oscar Chit had not described any of the Enneatypes either. Actually, in the
What?
7 months we spent with him, he devoted about 6 hours to talk about the Enneagram, but he never came to describe any one of the types.
That was
Right.
Enrica.
Oh, that came from
Enrica, Chile.
Enrica, Chile, yeah.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
came from my own observations, but mostly from automatic writing.
What?
Automatic writing?
Yeah, it came to me from automatic writing.
What did?
The specific information
And it's types.
about any types, which I then verified through observation, because I was surrounded by people
Right.
I was teaching.
Okay, translation. The Enneagrams, the personality types, how he assigned them all to numbers, he made it up. Automatic writing. So, a lot of people will be like, I was automatic writing, and God or some special entity that is not rooted in reality is speaking through them and using the pen, and that's what automatic writing is. It's like you're not writing, something else is using you to do the writing. Good morning. Oh my God. I fell down a rabbit hole. Sorry, the lighting's bad in here, but whatever. It is what it is. God, I fell down a rabbit hole. So this dude right here, let me find you a spot to plump you down. So this guy right here is the creator. And so, like, I was trying to find out where are the origins of, I know, my hair. I had it clipped. Yeah, I know. I know, it's about to be noon and I'm still, like, in my jammies waking up. But I was up late. I did not sleep well at all. It is what it is, right? So, this is the creator of the Enneagram, guys. This dude right here. And he just made it up. He just made it up. It's not really rooted in anything. It's just made up. He just made it up. So, in my playlist, I put some things down, but yeah, it's not rooted in reality. It's something this dude made up. And then other people have co-opted because they're selling shit. Because there's no, like, copyright or IP on the Enneagram. So other people have co-opted it to make money. And this guy talks, goes on to talk about how he's upset that other people make money off of his, you know, creation, which he actually took some of the information from someone else, but then likes to say, I got it through automatic writing. It's just, wow. That's why I said personality tests are bullshit. Myers-Briggs. So Myers-Briggs was a housewife who, she was college educated. She was graduated #1 in her class and then married the #2 in the class. And she had lost 2 children, and so her 3rd child survived, right? And so she really fixated on her daughter. And so she thought her daughter had this extraordinary personality and wanted to study her daughter. And then from there, using Carl Jung's work, he's a psychologist. He did a lot of, like, stuff on personality types and whatnot. Wanted to make a test to then be able to type people's personalities, which that goes into the kind of, people love to categorize stuff. We love that. And she started writing to Carl Jung and asking him for help. And he at first obliged her, but she started to become very obsessive over him and started writing really creepy letters to him. And that's when he was like, okay, because he's a psychologist. He was like, okay, she's creepy, and backed off. And she continued to obsess over him. She wrote these, like, stories about how she would run off and marry him and have his children. This is the creator of the Myers-Briggs test, who also wrote books about families that would off themselves because they found out they were part African American. Like, the most racist shit you could think of. Like, this lady was crazy. This dude, where does this go? I mean, you need help? He might have been waking up. I don't know. You know. But this dude, look. They fabricated that the Enneagram is ancient for marketing purposes. Hear the pipes. They're even like in awe, like, what? This is not real. This is not real. This guy made it up through automatic writing. It's not rooted in reality. These tests are BS. This is who's telling you who you are. And they go on to say how they base it all off of ego. Because he thinks like his focus was like on people's egos. And one of the things that Carl Jung didn't like about the Myers-Briggs, and what a lot of psychologists, is that these tests are just too broad to really speak on one person's personality. Like, because we're complicated and because we're like an amalgamation of our experiences, upbringing, you know, like us, just everything, right? We're a product of our environment, our bodies, our, just everything, right? The world around us and our experiences, and then us as a person, right? And our brain and whatnot. So it's just we're too complicated to be able to take a generalized test and have it tell you who you actually are. Honestly, like, you learn who you are by going on the journey, the hero's journey. By, you know, therapy helps too, because that's someone who can guide you through all that, talk you through, give you tools. And that is part of finding out who you are, is, you know, using those therapeutic tools in psychology and stuff to find out who you are, so you can, you know, better operate in the world and whatnot. But you're not going to learn about who you really are from a generalized test that is supposed to fit millions and millions of people, and then categorize us all into boxes, because humans like putting things into boxes because it's easier for us to then operate in the world. It gets complicated, but yeah. So I'm gonna go so I can start editing and get the next day going. Wow, Vlogmas is a thing. I'm thinking tonight I want to do something. In reality, we'll probably end up staying home. I want to do something Christmassy tonight. Maybe we can do something Christmassy tonight. Maybe we can decorate the living room or something. I don't know. Watch Christmas movies. It's Vlogmas. It's whatever. Or maybe we'll just deep dive into another topic on YouTube. I mean, this one was crazy. I did not know the Enneagram was marketing, basically, and made up bullshit. I thought it actually was rooted in some kind of psychology or something, and it really isn't. So, Alicia, it's bullshit. You're gonna learn more about yourself on your hero's journey than you ever did from an Enneagram, okay, baby girl? You got this, alright? And you guys got this too. So, I love you. And I'm going to link that playlist of the rabbit hole that I had. I hope you're safe doing whatever you're going to do. And having fun. And, yeah, learning about you. So, I love you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
End of transmission.